What's going on, everyone? It's Coach John back again, and I'm going to talk to you today about a quick update as to what I'm doing with my fitness goals. I know you've already seen the title of the video. The mini cut is starting. That's right, I am going into a mini cut. It's probably going to be somewhere between 4 to 8 weeks. So in today's video, I want to explain to you a little update as to where I've been in the bulk lately. If you haven't caught up with my recent episode of the Reform, it's still been about maybe a week since then, and I'm also going to talk about the goals for my mini cut and of course the reasoning behind it, and so that you can learn something from this and join on the journey with me together going into the new year. With that said, before we get started and diving into this video, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody who watches my content. It really means a lot. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers, which is awesome, and I look forward to some big projects, some big ideas that I've got for the new year. 2020 is going to be completely different in a good way. I think you guys will like it. So with that said, I do have one-on-one spots for my coaching available currently. You can click the link down below where it says apply for coaching to apply and book a call with me, see if we're a good fit to work together to get you to your goals. Also, be sure to follow my Instagram for other exclusive content going down over there and updates with my YouTube as well. So let's go ahead and dive in with the content now. As for my bulk update, okay, I actually hit my ultimate goal of this bulk, which was 230. At least that was my original goal, 230 pounds. I hit that yesterday. Okay, today is actually Monday, as of me recording this video, Monday, December 16th. You'll probably see this video the following day on Tuesday. I was stagnant at around 226 for a while, and then I decided to put the pedal to the metal a little bit more to get to that 230. It's been a couple of years since I've been this heavy, and once I hit that 230, I hit it a little bit fast after being stagnant, and I noticed that, you know what, I looked in the mirror. For being 230, I wasn't looking big enough in certain areas that I wanted to, and it started getting a little bit too big here in the waist. As you know, that's not something that we want, okay? The waist we always want to keep to a minimum, and if you saw my previous physique update video, then you'll know that my waist is sitting at around a 36. I decided that pants are getting way too hard to fit in right now, so it's about time that I switch things up, and so I decided to go on to a mini cut. Now let's talk about the goal of the mini cut, then I'll talk about the reasoning. First and foremost, my goal for this mini cut is to get down to anywhere between 215 or 220. So the first goal is 220. When I get there, I'm going to decide whether or not I go to 215. Okay, so that's going to be at least a 10-pound drop that I'm looking to get to. Now my goal is going to be to lose 2 pounds per week minimum for the next few weeks. So that would entail somewhere between probably a 6 to 8 week mini cut at that rate, but we all know that initially when losing weight, you're going to lose quite a bit more in that first week typically, just because of that excess water and glycogen that your body's holding on to that it has to get rid of first before it really starts tapping into those fat stores. So again, 10 to 15 pounds of fat loss is the goal, or 10 to 15 pounds of weight loss. Okay, let's say at least hopefully 7 of those will be pure body fat, and obviously the goal is to retain all of my muscle and even potentially build some in the process if possible, retain all my strength, or even improve it. Now here are the goals, or the macros I should say, for the cut. So my calories are actually going to be down to about 3,500. That's not including cardio. So my cardio goal is going to be to stay at around 200 to 300 calories on a daily basis after my workouts. Okay, so today was a rest day. I didn't do any cardio, but for the most part, even on rest days, I'll be doing cardio. Calories are going to stay the same across the board on rest days and non-rest days. But again, on rest days, I'm simply not going to add the cardio in, so it's going to stay at 3,500. Now for my macros, I'm going to have 485 grams of carbs, so it's still very high carb, right? It's still a lot of calories. I'm going to have 210 grams of protein. These are the goals, right? And I'm going to be shooting for 81 grams of fat. Now this may change along the way. I'm going to be coming up with vlogs to show you how I go about doing this, how I'm hitting these macros and calories throughout, how I'm adjusting, and all that good stuff. So those are my targets targets for this mini bulk to start. Obviously, this is going to adjust probably week to week or every couple of weeks, right, to make sure that I hit that goal as soon as possible. And that's pretty much what that's looking like. I already mentioned the cardio. And so now you might be wondering, why am I doing a mini cut? Why not just keep bulking up to keep building that muscle? And again, there's several reasons for it. So let's go ahead and get into that. The first reason is I want to sort of resensitize in a way to this calorie surplus. So the reason I got stagnant at 226, 225 was because I was eating roughly 4,000 or just over 4,000, somewhere between 4,000 and 4,400 calories just to sustain my body weight, right? And it was really just getting tiring. You know, you really do have to eat roughly the same foods every day and a lot of them to hit those numbers. And I was just getting kind of sick of it and tired of it, to be completely honest. And so, you know, if I wanted to stay and maintain a 230, then I would have to be eating closer to 5,000 calories a day, which again, is just not something that, one, living on my own now, is something that I really want to do expense-wise, but also the fact that it isn't necessary to do that, because at 230, I'm a little bit more fat than I need to be anyways. So I figured there's no reason for me to continue eating 4,000 to 4,500 calories a day to just stay stagnant at a weight that I'm not even looking that good at. So I'm cutting those calories back. You know, they'll be 3,500 to 3,800 a day, which is a decent cut to get started, but it's gonna bring me back down to probably the 225 area. Again, I'm 229 as of this morning. So 225, maybe 224, even 223. So most of my fat loss and most of my weight loss is going to be that water initially. So I think that this calorie deficit will do that right off the bat. But again, I'm resensitizing because I don't have to eat as much food. So I'm not force feeding myself nearly as much, if at all, right? Because I've pretty much expanded my stomach now to a point where 3,500 calories to 3,800 won't be that big of an issue. And so resensitization, in case I do decide to re-enter a surplus to finish off the bulk. And that's one reason. The next reason is to rebuild the habit of tracking my foods before my actual cut starts. So as you may or may not know, lately, as my calories have been so high and I'm eating roughly the same things mostly day to day, I've gotten off of the habit of tracking my calories often. So most of the time I'm not tracking anything. And the reason for that is because, well, I prefer to allow myself this leniency at this stage of a bulk where every calorie doesn't matter as much in the sense of staying as lean as I can or looking and performing my best in terms of just overall feeling good day to day, right? So I'm a little bit more lenient with my calories. I have so much room in them that I can eat a pizza and it's not going to affect me. So I've kind of gone away from tracking calories to give myself a break from that, from all the rigidity. But I think that I want to make sure I have that habit re-ingrained in my system at least a couple months out before I start an actual cut, because I don't know if you followed me before, but I am extremely strict with tracking my calories when it comes to that. So I want to make sure that I'm back in that mode and I'm back on point for these last 3 to 4 months of the bulk, so that I make the most out of it when it's time to get shredded and show off the gains I've made. Now, obviously another reason I already kind of mentioned, but it's to get leaner in general. I want the stomach to come down while retaining all of my lifts, my strength, my muscle, okay? I don't prefer having a bigger waist. It doesn't feel as good day to day. You don't perform as well. My cardio isn't as good, all of these different things. It sounds like excuses, and it somewhat is. If you couple it with not tracking as well, just not being all dialed in and everything, then it's gonna lead to that. So again, I'm just really dialing things in, trim off some of the body fat, maybe get back down to a 34-inch waist, get some abs back, and get me feeling good to either move a little bit higher again on the bulk, build a little more muscle, fill out with the glycogen in the water a little bit, and then get shredded, or maybe even just move right into a cut. I'm not sure, so we're gonna have to see, but I definitely wanna make sure I get a little bit leaner. That's also gonna make sure that you don't have to cut 30 pounds or 20, 25 pounds. We all know that that's not ideal, and me having done this so many times makes it super easy for me to do in terms of systematically doing it. But then again, when you're in a deficit for so many weeks, weeks, it's just not nearly as fun as when you're in a surplus or at maintenance staying lean. So again, these are more preferences as to why I'm gonna embark on this mini cut, and just getting overall leaner is gonna make me feel better, perform better in general, day to day, not even just in the gym, and it's gonna make that cut a lot less gruesome, a lot less brutal when it comes down to it. So that's pretty much that. Like I mentioned, the goal is to retain my strength on a relative scale. It should increase. I want to retain my lifts on an absolute scale or improve upon them, as is always the goal. And that is the plan. So the next 6 to 8 weeks, we're going to try to get quite a bit leaner. I'm going to be keeping you in the loop with that, updating you, getting some vlogs out. I do plan on improving the quality of these vlogs too as the new year comes around. And like I said, I got some big plans for the channel. So thank you again to you watching my videos, liking, commenting, sharing with your friends. And if you haven't yet, which I'm sure you have, but make sure you subscribe and get your friends to subscribe so they don't miss out on how to get shredded or how to get D's, how to build muscle, how to get lean, whatever it may be, whenever you decide to. Okay, so with that said, that's a quick update. Let's see if I missed anything. It's pretty much it. So it's time to get some abs back just for a little bit, get a little teaser of the cut to come. Hope you all have an amazing day. Thanks again for watching. Any other topics or anything regarding this topic that you want to see, let me know in the comments below. I'll be sure to make that for you, all right? Thanks so much, everyone. I'll see you in the next one, all right? I'm out.